Kia ora, Aries. This is your reading for this new moon in Leo, which is happening, well, technically tomorrow here in the Southern Hemisphere. So let's get into your storyline today. Thanks for all your views and likes and subscribes. It really helps me, so thank you. I appreciate it very much. Let's get the cards out. They're all face down. We'll get one more card. And we always go through and clarify if you haven't joined me before. And if you're joining me, thank you very much. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And let's turn these babies up and see. Wow, we're getting a lot of swords coming out in many of these readings this time round. So it's quite interesting, Aries. We come out here with a card, a beautiful card, one of my favourite cards actually, the Four of Swords. In the Thoth deck it's called Truce. There's a point of rest and respite. Maybe you are experiencing this at the moment. Just a bit of a downtime, whether you're in the northern or the southern hemisphere. Just a little bit of a quiet time here, because with Truce, with that chamber, you know, within ourselves that we enter into, there's a lot of downloads that come to us, a lot of, whatever way you want to look at it, a lot of thoughts that can be, ideas that can be very beneficial for us in that Four of Swords. With that, we've got the Hermit shining that light into some of those dark corners. These are hand in hand for you at the moment. So it would appear to be a really good time to, if you can, take some time out. Then we come to the Princess of Swords. There's a niggle, Aries. There's just a little niggle here. It's not to say it's real in the physical sense, but this princess is fighting what they see to be as an adversary or an enemy of sorts, but there is nothing there. It is just that there's a slight lack of clarity. Hence we see this Four of Swords and the Hermit. We're going inward to get that clarity. We're going inward, and when we come out, we may well be more in the vein of that queen who's sitting well up above the cloud zone, being able to see very clearly. And then we've got the Prince of Swords. So we're very swordy here. The Prince of Swords, as it is described in the Thoth deck, is being carried and pulled in many directions by these little fairies that are in fact simply thought forms. There's a lot of movement here. She is not overly focused, clearly. We're getting pulled in here and there. And often there's a reason for that. If not so much a reason, a process to it that brings us, pops us out into a new zone, Aries. So it's, to me, it's looking really, really positive. So let's go through and clarify. Four of Swords, the beautiful card of rest and respite. Because we need to understand the Eight, card of the mind, all the eights are this idea of self-limitation that every human experiences at times. We are not bound here, we're only bound by our mind, what we're prepared to venture into, what we're prepared to be sort of bound by fear. It is simply a mind thing. This speaks, it's all about the mind here. This princess and the prince. With that Eight of Swords, to clarify the four, we have beautiful success. This is a card of winning, the Six of Wands. It's a card of being seen to be of value. You're seeing it. You're seeing it. Can you accept it in the eyes of others? This is a great winning card. It's all it speaks of. And it sits in that central point within the tree of life, of beauty and harmony and balance. This is what that Four of Swords can give you, taking that time out, Aries. Let's look at the Hermit. As does the Hermit, it can be, and it is, a hero's journey, is it not? Life. So, to look at the Hermit, we have looking at those aspects of ourselves that maybe aren't working for us anymore, or aspects of the self behavior also that don't necessarily work for us anymore, or that we come to fully understand certain things at this point of respite and rest. We've got the King of Wands, very charismatic, fired up, very vital, a good storyteller actually. But like all sort of archetypal figures or states, there's a good and a not so good side. It's either not. I don't mean that to say it in like there's good and bad. There's many aspects that can be disruptive or can be very beneficial, and this King pretty much has all of that, you know. With that, we have the Ten of Swords. There's something about that King, those aspects within ourselves, Aries, that we have understood here. This is a wonderful card to get. It's a wonderful card, the Ten of Swords, because we've gone through that whole suit. And we come to the end of it with a new understanding and the ability to move on from that point. And the penny has dropped. It's wonderful. Princess of Swords, please, for Aries here. We see this great... It is it. You know, it's like we've got success there. We have an epiphany. Aries. We have an epiphany. As I said, you know, especially with the Prince of Swords, it's a process. It's not like somewhere where we stay for that long. It can be very useful to be going off in many and very different directions for a period of time. We're looking at the Princess here. We get the Seven of Wands. Standing up for our integrity is a good thing. But do we need to constantly be doing that? Do we imagine that everyone wants to hear us justifying our actions, our thoughts, behaviours? No. Sometimes we have to do it. And I guess, again, it's that balance, isn't it? We don't want to be doing this all the time or feel that we have to, because it's exhausting, because it just, we don't need to. We have a transition here, maybe an understanding of that with death. It's kind of pretty clear. And then we have the Two, a choice is made. I think the understanding of it has already occurred, whatever that is for you, Aries. A choice is made here in the Two of Discs. We are keeping a balance when there's a lot of movement around us. We know that there is a decision to be made, a choice. There always is. After this particular transition, let's look at that Prince of Swords, please, for Aries here. It's kind of interesting. Not kind of, it is interesting. Prince of Swords, please, for Aries. Exactly. Options. Opportunities. We know what's happened in the past. We've all had many experiences in the past. Prince of Swords, going here, there, and everywhere for a period of time. Why? There's a purpose. 7 of Cups, an assessment, looking at all your options, many and varied. That's the good thing about this. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities here. What's going to take off? What's not? This is all a card. This is assessment. And in the movement of that Prince, there's an assessment going on clearly. What does it give you at the end of it? Because you know what's happened in the past. You know about being able to shift your own perspective on any given thing. You know that, Aries. What are we focused on here? 3 spilt cups, but we've got 2. In the 8 of Cups, we leave to find those 2. In the 5, we have those 2 already upstanding. It's interesting, isn't it? And then the King. So we've elevated here. This King, just like the Queen of Swords, the 2 big kahunas of that suit. We've got that masculine aspect, which is very strong, very clear. There's no swaying of being swayed by the emotions or anything. It's a really amazing sort of reading, I think, because you've got this guide to just, if you can, you try and make time to rest and respite. This gives you clearer understanding. It's not rocket science, is it? When we are well rested, we are more clear in our mind, ideally. We see lessons learnt from the past in that 10. Lessons about ourselves and about how we operate with others. We know there's a decision made after this transitional period where we have gone into the hermit. We've understood certain things in there. That can encompass life's journeys. And then we come in with this King, with the King of Swords. Let's just get a Brian Froud. Oh, Pixie and Fairy for a glimmer. Yeah, and trust this. Flying out. A collective of pixies, a celebration. Singer of intuition, really heightened, strong card. This, as I said, downloads information coming through in and during a period of respite and rest. Very important, because there's been a lot of good work done. And other people, collective of pixies is about a celebration. Other people and support. Other people see you in this light, in success, in the 6 of Wands. Beautiful reading, Aries. Now we'll just get a rock, mineral and crystal card for you to take with you through the week at this new moon Leo time. Another fiery, as I say, another fiery sign, Aries, Leo. And appropriately, we get red jasper here. Beautiful stone, nurture, determination, relaxing, tranquility. Key words there for you, Aries, at this time. Thanks so much for joining me. Take good care over this next week and carry that red jasper with you in your mind. On that note, ka kite. Bye, Aries.